Hey guys, today I'm going to do a study on Exodus chapter 17, so let's get into it. The entire Israelite community left the wilderness of sin, moving from one place to the next according to the Lord's command. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. So the people complained to Moses, "Give us water to drink." "Why are you complaining to me?" Moses repeated to them. "Why are you testing the Lord?" So they left the wilderness of sin and they camped with them, like the Lord command. And they start complaining that like, "Give us water to drink." And Moses is like, "Why are you talking to me? Why are you testing the Lord?" Because like previously, like in chapter 15, like they came to Marah, but they could not drink the water in Marah because it was bitter. That's why it was named Marah. The people grumbled to Moses, "What are we going to drink?" So he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree. When he threw into the water became drinkable. So, like, the Lord provided water back then in Marah. He can provide water in Rephidim. So, like, Moses is like, "Why are you testing the Lord?" But the people thirst there for water and grumble against Moses. They said, "Why did he ever bring us up from Egypt to kill us, and our children, our livestock with dogs?" So once again, they're saying like, "Why did you even do this? Just to get us dead?" And this is, I think, like the third time they said this, or like the fourth time. And they always like to talk about how, like, it would have been better to be in Egypt, and like, why you bring us out of Egypt just for us to die? Then Moses cried out to the Lord, "What should I do with these people? In a little while, they will stone me." So like Moses starts like crying out to the Lord because like the people are so angry that like this might be a little exaggeration, but they're so angry that they're gonna stone him. Might not be exaggeration, might be. The Lord answered Moses, "Go on ahead of the people and take the stones, some of the elders of Israel with you. Take the staff that you struck the Nile with your hand and go. I'm going to stand there in front of you on the rod of Horeb. When you hit the rod, water will come out of it and the people will drink." Moses did incite the elders of Israel. He named the place in Masha and Mobah because Israelites complained and because they tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" So the Lord said to Moses like that, like to go on ahead and like with the elders of Israel and take the staff that you used to perform all those miracles, and go to a rod at Horeb and strike it, and then water will come out. And he was able to do this. And the place was named after like the Israelites' doubts and complaining. At Rephidim, Amalek came and fought against Israel. Moses said to Joshua, "Select thee some men for us and go fight against Amalek. Tomorrow I will stay on the hilltop with God's staff in my hand." Joshua did as Moses told him and fought against Amalek. While Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. When Moses held up his hand, Israel prevailed. Whenever he put his hands down, Amalek prevailed. So this person, so this they like Amalek. I think this is a nation or like a group of people, like came and fought against Israel. So these people are trying to kill the Israelites. So Moses like went up to a top of the hill and he was holding up his hands. Every time he held up his hand, they were winning. But when he put down his hand, Amalek prevailed. So every time Moses was holding up his hands, God was giving the Israelites strength to win. But when he loses, when his hands start going down, they lost their strength. So then Amalek was start to win. So this is showing that Israel is like only like as strong as it is with miracles and power from God. When Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him. He sat down in it. Then Aaron and Hur supported his hands, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands remained steady until the sun went down. So they eventually had to give Moses some support so that he can continue to hold up his hands until the sunset. So they put a rod underneath him so that he can rest, and then Aaron and Hall had to support his arms so that he could continue to hold his hands up. So God was using Moses to do hold his hands so that Israelites can win. And Jesus is commonly referred to as a rock. So if you press on the rod of Jesus and you have other people to support you, because it says in other places like Proverbs, iron sharpens iron. So if you have Jesus to as your firm foundation, and you have other friends to support you, and fellowship from church and people, then you will be able to do what God wills and accomplish what God wants you to. So Joshua defeated Amalek and his army with the swords, and because of that, Moses' hands were able to stay up until the sun was then down. Joshua defeated Amalek and his army with the sword. The Lord then said to Moses, "Write this down on a scroll as a reminder and recite to Joshua. I'll completely blot out the memory of Amalek under the heaven." So the Lord went to Moses and says, "Write this down," and I said, so that it will be a reminder to the people, and I tell it to Joshua, and that I will completely destroy the nation of Amalek, so that it will never be remembered or ever again. And Moses built an altar and named it, "The Lord is my banner." He said, "Indeed, my hand is lifted up towards the Lord's throne. The Lord will be a wall of Amalek from generation to generation." So Moses built an altar to worship the Lord, and he said, "Lord is my banner," because banners are held up, and he was able to hold up his hand like a banner, and because he held up his hands like a banner, they were able to win. And he also says the Lord will fight against Amalek from generation to generation, so that he can wipe them out from the world. And yeah, so this is Exodus chapter. This is a study of Exodus chapter 17, which is about once again the Israelite people complaining about the lack of water, and so that Moses had to hit a rod so that water will come out. And then Amalek, the nation of Amalek, came and fought against Israel. But because Moses was able to keep his arms up, Joshua was able to defeat Amalek. So yeah. So if any experienced Christian sees this and I said something wrong, please correct me. And if you like this video, like it. And if you think I'm doing something good, subscribe. And I'll see you the next day if the Lord wills. Bye.